The Opposition People's National Party, the PNP, is maintaining that the Integrity Commission does in fact advise parliamentarians when they are under investigation for illicit enrichment. It's calling on the governing Jamaica Labour Party, the JLP, to be honest with the Jamaican people on the matter.
The PNP statement follows one from the JLP in which Senator Charles Sinclair denied that the parliamentarians are formally advised when the commission opens a probe into the sources of their wealth. He dismissed Golding's claim as an untrustworthy attempt to score political points.
The PNP president continues to mislead and spread mischief concerning the issue of alleged illicit enrichment and Integrity Commission investigations. The fact is, it's virtually impossible for the PNP president to state with any certainty that no parliamentarian on his side is under probe. As far as I'm aware, the commission does not, as a matter of practice, write to individuals and state specifically that they are under probe for illicit enrichment. It's important that the country be clear that concerning this matter, the PNP and its president have been up to mischief and have been attempting to mislead the people for their own political gain and advantage.
That's Senator Charles Sinclair, the JLP's Deputy General Secretary. But the PNP's spokesperson on information and public communication, Nikisha Burchell, says Senator Sinclair's comment amounts to misinformation and misdirection.
We are saying that the JLP is fully aware that, to the contrary, the Integrity Commission does write to individuals who are under investigation for illicit enrichment and advises them of such investigation. This protocol, we know, is in place to ensure that those under scrutiny are aware of their status and can respond appropriately.
That's Nikisha Burchell, opposition spokesperson on information and public communication.
Now, opposition leader Mark Golding has indicated that no opposition parliamentarian is aware of being under investigation for illicit enrichment.
Because, remember now, when the first 6 came out, Mark put out a press release to say he asked all his parliamentarians if they were contacted by the IC, and nobody, he claimed, said they were contacted. Now, since this 2 added one come out, there was another press release. Mark claimed he asked the CM22 again if they were contacted by the IC, and none said yes. None of them said yes. That is how Matt Sinclair come out and justify Wagwan. This is how Nikisha Burchell come out and put out them statement. You soon hear data and can be live out of his mouth, out of his own mouth.
Ms. Burchell says the Integrity Commission has made it clear that any lawmaker under investigation would be advised.
And the opposition spokesperson on information says she's calling on the leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party to publicly declare the status of all parliamentarians who sit on the government bench. She says the matter has the potential to derail the government. Joining us to discuss further, we are joined now by the General Secretary of the People's National Party, Dr. Dayton Campbell, and we are to be joined by the President of Generation 2000, the G2K, Shane Carr, but we're unable to get him. So we'll begin with Dr. Campbell. Good evening, Dr. Campbell.
Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Campbell.
Thank you as always. Charles Sinclair, the Deputy General Secretary of the JLP, says as far as he's aware, Dr. Campbell, the Commission does not, as a matter of practice, write to individuals and state specifically that they are under probe for illicit enrichment. Your party says not so. What is your understanding of the process?
Well, either Mr. Sinclair does not read well or it doesn't read with understanding. This matter came about by us seeing it in the annual report of the Integrity Commission last year that 6 parliamentarians are under investigation. There are 2 committees currently that are looking at the Integrity Commission Act. And at one of the committee meetings, Member of Parliament from Southeast St. Andrew, Julian Robinson, asked the Director of Investigation, Mr. Kevin Stevenson, if persons are informed when they are being investigated. He responded to say, yes, once you are being investigated for illicit enrichment that you would have to be informed so you can answer as to the source of your wealth. Subsequent to that, in an email in August of last year, the Executive Director of the Integrity Commission, Greg Christie, wrote stating verbatim that he's communicating the position about whether or not persons are investigated, as was communicated by the Director of Investigation. And it states explicitly in writing that those persons who are under investigation for illicit enrichment would have to be told. So there is the video evidence of the response in Parliament, and there is the email evidence. None of this is a fabrication of the People's National Party. This is information that we are privy to. Now, having seen that, what we did was to ask our 22 parliamentarians, 14 members of the lower house, often referred to as members of parliament, and 8 senators, 22 in total. And they have said that they have not been communicated to say that they are being investigated.
And Senator Sinclair has shot back at that, though, Dr. Campbell. He did indicate that anyone can say that they're not under investigation, but you don't know for certainty because your members could tell you anything.
My brother, what it is that a political party can ask of their members. Here is Senator Sinclair saying that anybody can say this, whilst at the same time he himself as a senator has not come out to declare his position. So here you have 49 members of the House, or 48 because one resigned, and 13 senators who have refused to say to the public that they are not being investigated, whilst at the same time accusing those who have said that they are not to say that they are lying, whilst they themselves have not declared their position. Let me go further. In November of last year, there was a report in one of the daily papers where it says that the Integrity Commission called in a Jamaica Labour Party member of Parliament for them to be interviewed about illicit enrichment. That was carried in the national papers.
Dr. Campbell, yes, thank you. Dr. Campbell, why is it so important to state whether the party members say they're under investigation or illicit enrichment? Under investigation now. That's what we're talking about.
Right. So, as I'm saying, let us chronicle and get the events, the sequel of events correct. We got a report from the Integrity Commission that says that 6 parliamentarians are under investigation. That was in their annual report last year. This year, there's a report saying 2. And then they issued a release to clarify the position to say that makes it cumulatively 8. Members of the public are concerned that here you have parliamentarians whose assets are above what they earn. So they have
alleged to be.
Right. That's the concern, right? And they've launched an investigation. We're reviewing the Integrity Commission Act. On the committee reviewing the Act are parliamentarians who are using their position in Parliament to prescribe what should or should not be in the Act. Persons have said it would not be right for somebody who is on an investigation to use that opportunity on one of the committees to try and reduce the roles and responsibility, the functions of the Integrity Commission. Additionally, it is a serious crime that is being alleged. And persons would want to know that those who are representing you in the Parliament are not guilty of such a crime. Now, Sinclair has said two different things. Firstly, he said that the Integrity Commission does not inform you about it. When we responded and we provided the evidence, he moved to say that anybody can say they are not being investigated. So now his position has moved from they've not said it to persons that they don't say to persons to, they may say to persons and they lie about it. His position is mobile.
But let me flip that, Dr. Campbell. Let me flip that because...
Let me read to you. Let me read to you exactly what the email says from the Executive Director of the Integrity Commission, and you can tell me as to whether or not, or as to what your opinion is. The email is dated Thursday, August 3, 2023. It says, subject, request for information from Integrity Commission, Parliament Oversight Committee. Dear Ms. Bailey, I am pleased to advise you that the Integrity Commission's Director of Investigation, Mr. Kevin Stevenson, has asked me to provide you with the following verbatim response to your Honorable Committee's inquiry. Quote, all declarants who are being investigated for illicit enrichment must be so advised. Declarants under such an investigation must, by law, be given an opportunity to explain how they came by their assets. End of quote.
And that is the point that I was going to go at, Dr. Campbell, because isn't it better to wait until the Integrity Commission conclude its investigation? Because the Integrity Commission did indicate, and Senator Sinclair also said it in his release, that the Director of Information and Complaints is compelled to record the complaint or whatever report that they receive. And then they submit it to the appropriate director of the commission for them to take action. The commission is lawfully will make a note of the probe in its annual report. So anyone can be under investigation based on a complaint
these are
made.
Allegations.
Right. But the
Yes.
investigation has to be done, and it can be turned out to be without merit. So why not wait until the investigation has been completed before anyone decides to come out to say anything?
Well, your initial question was, isn't it better? And I went to good school, so I don't want to use a question to answer a question. But I'm asking, isn't it better for who? Here we have a country, right, where there's an allegation that parliamentarians are enriching themselves, and there are parliamentarians seated on an oversight committee that is reviewing the law, that can make recommendations to say, for instance, the Auditor General should not be a commissioner of the Integrity Commission. People can make far-reaching recommendations. It could be that the very persons who are making those recommendations are the persons who are trying to neuter an institution because they're under investigation. I think it is fittingly appropriate and appropriately fitting for those persons to recluse themselves if they are among the persons who are being investigated.
All right, let me get to understand where Dayton Campbell wants, because I understand, but I just don't understand. So, 6 people name plus 2, 8 persons name are being called under investigation. To me, I'm gonna repeat it, it's an inquiry. Even one comment and say, oh, it's still an investigation. To me, it not reach investigation until it is recommended to the DPP for criminal charges or something like that. So they might do inquiry now on some people. So what Dayton Campbell want to be done is these people to step aside. So the 8 of them, because him said none of them on the PNP. So he must say the 8 JLP, because I don't think he must push people them come aside. So the 8 JLP must put them on and say, me get a call, me get check, me get this, me gonna step aside. The 8 of them step aside. 8 of them step aside. Don't have nothing to do with the parliament. Step aside, step aside. All right? Now, when the investigation completed, nothing is found. Nothing at all is found. How much years now the IC in? How much person them all in a parliament say, yeah, illicit enrichment? Even when Dwayne Vaz name call, it push under the carpet, say he's not one of the illicit. Somebody just want to know what you want to say. Want to think the people them for name and come up and say, I made the IC name and I made the IC investigate and me gonna step aside? Politics, that one, a big politics.
No, what we have said is that persons should come forward and recluse themselves. That does not mean that the person would leave the parliament. It simply means that they would recluse themselves from the committee that is doing the review of the act. I think that is a fair position.
So Dr. Campbell, just a clarification there. Your concern is with the persons, the people on the oversight committee, or your concern is that these 8 people mentioned are sitting in the parliament and you want to know who they are?
Remember, we do not have recall in Jamaica, you know. We do not have electoral recall, you know. We cannot recall anybody. When we put forward the bill for impeachment, which was drafted and tabled as a private member's bill by the leader of the PNP, Mark Golding, the JLP has not taken that bill to the House for it to be debated in over 3 years. So we could not ask that these, well, it could be, a request could come that these persons should resign from the party. But what we have said is that these persons
you misunderstood me, I think.
themselves from the committees that are reviewing. There are 2 committees.
And if they are not on, okay. Go ahead.
Right. And I hear the young lady from Jamaica for Justice and another talk show. They keep making the point. Jamaica is not just the JLP and the PNP. There are other members of the society who have also expressed concerns. Right? It is.
So now you want the JLP administration to you want someone in the JLP to say, you want the JLP to say, we have asked our members, and then give us what the response is from the members.
But there were members in the JLP that were willing to come out to do that. And the Prime Minister of the country placed a gag order on them not to do so.
But Dr. Campbell, the point still remains that anyone can make a report to the Integrity Commission. The Integrity Commission can determine. No. Let me finish the point. No. Let me finish the point, Dr. Campbell. No, but what I'm saying is the process is that a report can be made to the Director of Information and Complaints. That individual can then decide that it reaches the level where it sends to the commissioner and they decide if an investigation should happen. The investigation could be completed and it is without merit. So why then should someone come to incriminate themselves before the process completes?
It is very noteworthy that such a view has been taken, right? And I dare say it is an uninformed view because, one, you could have complained. You have assumed that these investigations are based on complaints. You also have the annual responsibility.
Not hearing you, Dr. Campbell. Could you speak back in the headset?
You also have the annual responsibility for you to submit your income, assets, and liabilities, which could trigger an investigation. I don't know how you have concluded that this is based on somebody making a report and that this is not based on an examination of persons' income, assets, and liabilities. Clearly, the Information and Compliance Department, Complaints Department of the Integrity Commission would have gone through several times. All of us who have ever been in Parliament, you'd have been written to provide additional information, and nobody knows about that. It doesn't end up in any report because there is a long process with that department to ask you for additional information about a bank account there, a vehicle there, whatever it is. It is when people cannot get information or when, based on their formulation that they have, based on your income, what you have declared is above what you should be able to afford, that they refer the matter for investigation over to now the department that deals with investigation. They then go
Dr. Campbell, can you tell us now what you are expecting from the governing Jamaica Labour Party?
I think all well-thinking Jamaicans should be concerned if they have a parliament and there is a report from the Integrity Commission, that is the oversight body that has been put in place to ensure that those members are above board. I've reported that they are investigating members there for illicit enrichment. I think all well-thinking Jamaicans should be concerned. And they should demand of all the parliamentarians within the parliament to say whether or not they have been so contacted. In a Jamaica Gleaner story in November, it says that IC called meeting with JLP MP with possible illicit enrichment. So it is not that persons are unaware that they are being investigated. All well-thinking Jamaicans should be concerned that a Prime Minister of a country for 3 years, his income, assets and liability cannot be certified. That is unacceptable. This is not a banana republic. That is unacceptable in the history of the country. It has never happened before and this should not be tolerated now.
Before you go, Dr. Campbell, I have
Hold on, because the puncher is going to ask Dr. Campbell about Mark Golding. But hold on a little bit there. Before me go there, so big up Velma Mitchell, big up Doreen Williams, big up Bobby Reds, big up Max Romeo, big up Don Lawrence, big up Ivan Stevenson. Some of them name there. I think, I don't know, most of them people, they are from the People's National Party. Them have on them orange brief, them have on them orange panty, and them not see nothing, them blind. But big them up said way. Big up Janet Johnson, big up Velma, big up Elizabeth Brown, big up Simone Campbell, big up Joan Barker, big up Fitzroy Morgan. The set of people that I just call, I think them support the Labour Party based on how them comment and all of them things there. Now, this man going to ask Dayton Campbell about Mark Golding and his British whatever. Just a while ago, Dayton speak and him have paperwork, him have email and him read out and him talk about the country and Jamaica need to know and everybody need to know and everybody need to know and him think of the rightful thing. Listen where Sanjay asks Dayton and listen how Dayton answer Sanjay.
Another matter that I want to put to you, that of the president of the People's National Party, Mark Golding. He indicated that he will renounce his British citizenship. Did he start the process of renouncing?
There we go again. That is a matter that to be in the Jamaican Parliament, there are qualifications. You have to be a member of the British Commonwealth. It has always been that way because of our historically how Jamaica was governed, was a colony of Great Britain. So before the Constitution in 62, when we got universal adult suffrage, you had to be a British subject. That is why Mr. Siaga had to renounce his U.S. citizenship. It wasn't any moral decision. He was required by
No,
the
but
law.
Dr. Campbell, that's not, no, but
Not true.
right, answer the question because that,
Not true. Siaga renounced before he entered to politics. So Siaga name is not an example. So all I want to PNP will have jump up and follow. This is another hearsay when I follow. Edward Siaga renounced his citizenship before he entered politics. So that's not an example to say, oh, somebody that pressure who and it was moral who and wait. No.
it has nothing, we understand, no, but hold on, Dr. Campbell.
Answer, please.
Yes,
Let
go
me
ahead.
Answer. Right, so here we are now at a position where this is allowed constitutionally. The leader of the party has said that he is going to renounce it despite it being legal.
I hear you, but I'm asking you, did he start the process?
I heard you earlier.
Well, Dr. Campbell, you can't just say where we are. Dr. Campbell, people are concerned. They would love to know. They would love to know whether Mr. Golding has gone and if.
You see the difference with me, I tell you, no? You hear much know him say? Him come on the program to explain about the Illicit 6 and the statutory declaration from Andrew Onis. Remember now, him not educate to know. And uno will follow, uno not read. Because I see that 2021, this them there with investigation, 1%. 1% of investigation completed. 1%. They're dated back 2021. So then the 22, 23, 24. Even when them put out for 24, 25, them not start. Them only show you say, well, this is in the process. It not start. They're at 2021. The same 3 years where you are complaining about. The same 3 years.
Further down the wicket.
No, you don't have the benefit of asking and answering the question. You ask the question.
No, but Dr. Campbell, we just want an answer for the question.
No, because then you quote me in an article in something that I did not say. So I want to put the context there so when persons are listening, they can see for themselves whether or not the article represents what I said. So I am not going down that road of being dictated to how I should answer questions. Certainly,
Dr. Campbell, let's just ask again because we're running out of time. Has the opposition leader gone any further in the process of renunciating his citizenship?
My information is that the opposition leader is renouncing renouncing his British citizenship, which is not legally required, and I'm amazed that there's an.
So he hasn't started the process then, Dr. Campbell? Because I'm out of time. I just need to know. Did he start the process?
You'd have to ask him that. I haven't asked.
So you're not aware that he started the process?
I haven't asked him.
So you're not aware?
I haven't asked him. But you should have the same interest in the persons in the parliament who are being investigated.
Of course, equally.
Dr. Campbell, we wanted to speak with the JLP representatives. Dr. Campbell, we wanted, and as we said earlier, we reached out to them, and we reached out.
So in essence, then, Dr. Campbell,
Senator Sinclair,
we're out of time.
Unable to be here.
We're out of time. But Dr. Campbell, you're confirming that you're not aware that Mark Golding has started the process of renouncing.
renunciation of his British citizenship, which is not legally required.
I know that, but he did say that he will renounce.
Yes, he has said so.
So he started the process?
If you want an update on that process, then you'd have to speak.
So you're not aware?
I haven't asked him.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. We're out of.
Okay. So there you have yourself. That was Dayton Campbell. Me not have no 10 cent and a 20 cent because two professional media mainstream people don't talk to Dr. Campbell already. But that's a point out because I'm going to upload a little piece by itself separate, you know. What I'm pointing out now, he has documents, he has information with him to talk about the illicit 6, 8, 13, 11, because there's so much numbers. So when the question was asked now, because he's saying it's a national thing, Jamaica people want to know, and it is very important. Now them asking the same thing, because Jamaica people want to know, and the Jamaica people alone want to know. Him cannot answer, because remember, it's a process that was promised from the opposition leader. So I can't secretly wait and ask him as the General Secretary. Big up on yourself. So big up Janet Johnson, big up. Velma Mahal, big up. Elizabeth Brown, big up yourself. Simone Campbell, big up yourself too. Joan Barker, big up yourself. Fitzroy Morgan, big up you. Velma Mitchell, big up you. Big up Doreen Williams, big up Bobby Reds, big up Max Romeo. Don Lawrence, big up yourself. Evan Stevenson, big up. Check you back again with another video. Have a nice day.